Hey guys, I'm Nat.
And I'm Ashton.
And we are
the
nerds in flannel.
Dang, it's been a while since we've done a Zoom pod, hasn't it?
Wow, that was rough.
That was rough. We're losing it. We almost
Yeah.
had it in the last Zoom pod, and now we just lost it again.
I feel like we just overthink it because last time we just went for it and it was pretty good.
And it was great.
This one just not it, man.
Oh well, what can you do?
Anyway, guys, welcome back to another episode of the podcast.
Yes,
Ashton, what are
welcome.
we talking about today?
Well, Nat, I have one simple question for you that sums up this whole episode.
Okay, what's your question, bud?
All right. Are you more of a briefs guy or a boxer guy? No, kidding.
Boxer briefs. I mean, what?
That's the middle. That's the sweet spot right there. Same.
Yeah. It just feels nice.
Nat,
I mean, never mind.
what you watching, bro?
What you watching? Yeah. So I've been watching. What have I been watching? I'll start off with a TV show that I recently started watching.
Oh.
Not the one you're thinking of.
Okay.
I started watching Modern Family on Disney Plus. Yes. I've been hooked. I've been really watching for the last how many seasons am I in? I'm currently in season 4, episode 23, and I started like a week and a half ago.
Dang.
So I've been grinding through. They're half an hour episodes, but like they're pretty long seasons. I think they're like 26 episodes a season, which is pretty good for like a sitcom like that because it also like it looks good when it like, man, I can't talk. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Anyways, Modern Family, I just kind of fell in love with it immediately. It's very reminiscent of like New Girl for me. And if you listen to our top 10 TV shows of all time, obviously New Girl was my number 1. So that helps a big amount. And the cast is pretty freaking sweet. And also it's created by one Christopher Lloyd. Now, if you don't know who Christopher Lloyd is, it's not the Christopher Lloyd that played Doc Brown.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought it was. And then I Googled it and it's not. I was very sad when that
Got my
was
hopes up, bro.
Yeah, dude, I was Googling it. I'm like, oh no way. It's the same. They look exactly the same.
Dang.
My goodness. Yeah, not Christopher Lloyd who played Doc Brown in Back to the Future and other great things. Stupid. But it's the TV producer, not the actor.
Okay.
Dude, he was in The Mandalorian. Like the good Christopher Lloyd.
The good one. Yeah, what was he as again? I remember like watching something about his cameo.
I don't remember, honestly. Let's see here. Mandalorian. What year? Oh, it was episode 3.1. Oh, he's going to be in it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
that makes sense. Because I couldn't remember, but I remember he, like, there was mention of him, like, being part of the show or being in the show or something, so that makes sense.
Right now, he's just in one episode, but we'll see.
Dang. You know, it's actually interesting, because I did start watching Modern Family. I think I got, like, 3 episodes in, like, last year or something. I was bored looking for a new TV show. And I mean, yeah, I watched the first 3 episodes. It didn't hook me right away. And then I just went back to like watching like The Office or something like that. I forget exactly what. But I tried watching it like right after I finished How I Met Your Mother. So it might have been the hype from that show that kind of killed the vibe for me.
It's 2 very different tones.
Yeah.
The Modern Family is more of a what's it called? A family drama with like kids and stuff. So the humor is not as like, I want to say raunchy as How I Met Your Mother is, especially with Barney and a few other characters. Yeah, but Modern Family is just really fun for me right now. So that's what I've been watching lately. So yeah.
Dope. Nice. I should try it again.
Yes. Yeah. Ashton, what you been watching lately?
All right. So this is a show that I started just a little bit ago and I finished. It's not the one you're thinking of either. Don't worry. This is one
We'll
that I
talk about that
found
later.
on. Yeah, we will. This is one that I found on Disney Plus, and man,
Mhm.
it's. I was just kind of doom scrolling through, and it looked captivating. Like the image looked captivating, and then I read the description. Now, full
Wait,
disclosure,
can I guess?
they changed the image to something a little more promiscuous like 2 days after I started watching this, so that is not the image that I was like, oh, yes, that's the one I want to watch. Yeah, you can guess.
Oh wait, can I guess? Can I
You
guess?
you can
Is it
guess.
the People versus O.J. Simpson?
No, it's not.
Ah, dang it, that would have been awkward. Okay,
No.
never mind. Is it the
Um,
Old Man?
No.
Is it Dope Sick?
I don't think you're gonna get this one.
Okay, whatever, just go
This-
for it. I give up.
This is a lower key one. I think it aired on like ABC or something, and then got put on Disney Plus because Disney, and we're in Canada, and they do that with all their ABC shows here.
Yeah, you're right.
It is a show called The Grand Hotel. Ever seen or heard of
Interesting.
this one?
I have not. Let me look at it right now. But explain
Okay.
it to the audience here.
So this show, it's actually based off of a show that was, I believe it was officially first aired. The series was officially first aired in Mexico. I can tell you just looked at the cover. That's not the cover I was into at first, I swear.
Where's your shirtless man?
That's not the cover,
No
bro.
way. Okay, anyways, continue.
So it's a murder mystery. And I like a good old murder mystery every so often, every blue moon. And yeah, like it's based off of this show that ran in Mexico for a time. And it's pretty much about this like family. It takes place in like Miami, Florida. It's this like Latino family that owns this hotel. And the hotel seems to have some problems, and you kind of get an image into that. But under the surface, you also find out that there's this dude who comes into the hotel, lies on his resume about wanting to work there, and he's actually going undercover to learn about who in the hotel killed his sister.
Interesting.
The very beginning of the show, it kind of hooks you in because it shows a scene of like this dude's sister trying to like get to safety or something, and then implies her that she gets murdered, but you don't see who did it. And this is actually one of the few murder shows I've seen where I couldn't guess, like I would never have guessed in a million years that it was the character that did it that actually did it. If you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. I don't think so many people have seen the
Interesting.
show. It was canceled after season 1, which I'm actually a little upset about. It only came out in like 2019 or something, so it's not an old show. But I think once COVID hit, people just weren't like. This just happened to be one of those shows that didn't quite fall on the radar.
Okay,
yeah,
that type of show. Poor shows.
It's that kind of show, but it's very interesting, very captivating. I couldn't wait to kind of like get home from work and just kind of continue on with the series. And man, it's like
Yo, with that cover, I bet, Ashton.
dang, bro. Trying to call me out. Yeah, no, this is like genuinely a good show. And if you're bored, it's not as raunchy as they try to make it. They're just in the trailer. They just tried to make it like that to get people into watching it. But I didn't even see the trailer until after I started watching this show, so I didn't know. Yeah, no, it's actually a pretty clean show, all things considered. Teenagers and up, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Cool.
Yes.
Now that we got that one out of the way,
Yeah. Dude, I was looking at the cover. I'm like, bro, you good?
don't judge a book by its cover. Just watch the show. It's so good.
You know
And
what?
they leave
Fair
it on this
enough.
incredibly big cliffhanger. Like it's legitimately like another murder that they're gonna tie into season 2, but then
Oh yeah.
it got canceled after one season, and I'm so sad because I wanted to know what the plans were with how they're gonna carry it on. Really great writing, really great acting, and actually really nice camera shots.
Do you know what? I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot eventually. We'll see.
Put it on the old watch list
Yeah.
for when that day comes.
The watch list for me is so long right now. It's crazy. All right. What else
Yeah,
have I
what
been
you
watching?
watching?
Yes. Okay, I'll stick to Disney Plus. We'll stay on Disney Plus for a little bit.
Sure.
Because I've been watching a bunch of stuff. This is a show we actually talked about I think I want to say like a few weeks ago, and we said, and I quote, why does this show exist?" And after watching the show, I can say that why does this show exist? And that show is I Am Groot.
Oh shoot.
So there's five. Yeah, there's 5 5-minute episodes. So it's like just adventures of Groot doing his things, and I could have gone my whole life without it. There's nothing like groundbreaking for it being an MCU property. It's fun, it's cute, sure, kids will love it, it will sell toys, but maybe it's just the adults in us that like that I just don't like it, man. It feels heartless, you know what I mean? It feels like it's unnecessary. Gotta admit, there's one episode that I laughed a good amount, but other than that, the other ones are just not great. Family friendly, fun. Give it a watch. Yeah.
I gotta confess, I watched one episode of this show and did not find the first episode funny whatsoever. And then I switched to the Grand Hotel after that.
Dude, I don't think there's an order. I really don't think there's an order.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Like, I don't get why this show, and again, this is like my opinion without watching the whole series, but
Yeah.
I don't get why this show had to be an MCU show. Why couldn't it have just been like, some other like Disney animated, like Disney XD? I don't even think they're a thing anymore, but like animated kids show, Like, why does it
Yeah.
really have to have like the whole MCU behind it? I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough. Here, give me 1 second. I'm gonna let my cat out because he's scratching the door and it's really annoying. So I'm gonna let him out real quick.
Dang. Yeah, no, if you've been watching this show and you have a different opinion on it, hit us up. Our Instagram is at Nerds and Flannel Podcast, and our Gmail is nerdsandflannelpodcast@gmail.com, and comment on the YouTube videos, because yeah.
Wow, good job, bro. Look at that stalling job. That's good right
Oh
there.
yeah. Doing my thing.
Ashton, what you watching lately? What you been watching lately? We got that title's weird. What you been watching lately?
What you've been watching lately? Okay. This is sticking to Disney Plus, and I'm pretty sure I've talked about this show in the past two What You Watchins. You know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and say this one again. The Orville season 3. I finally finished it, and you know what? It's just such a good friggin' like show. I'm like, man, I love the first 2 seasons. I still think season 2 is my favorite, but season 3 had longer episodes, more character-driven episodes. I laughed, I cried. Actually no, but I did come very close to tears, and it was just it was a ride, dude. Like, honestly, prime. One of the things that made Star Wars such an amazing like sci-fi adventure story, at least the original trilogy, was the fact that it's very character driven. This show, dude, that's pretty much the whole thing about it. It's just very character driven. They took the episodes from like 40 minutes each and made it like an hour and a half or something per episode. So it is a little long for season 3. And there aren't as many episodes, but you just get so much character stories that they couldn't squeeze into like a 30-minute episode, and it just makes the season a whole lot better. Such a great show. Like, I'm about to rewatch that whole series and then watch season 3 again because it was that good. Like, it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's one show I will have to start watching eventually because I've heard so many great things from you, my parents, and they're like, watch it. But I'll give it a shot eventually.
Yeah, bro.
Like, I could be wrong, but I think I'm more of a a Star Trek fan than you are.
That's fair.
If we're just going straight off Star Trek, I think I'll be the bigger fan. So, I think might have to give it a watch. Might have to.
Yeah, and you know, like the first two seasons had a lot more like Star Trek-iness to it, but season three just kind of completely takes it into and makes it its own thing, which is like that's why they relabeled it to the Orville New Horizons rather than just the Orville,
Okay.
because it's like hidden new horizons, doing some different stuff, and it just really works out well. And also, Ann Winters is in this show too. She's also in the Grand Hotel, which I was like, oh dang, that's her. And then she was also, I think, in 13 Reasons Why as well. I think she's like gonna be a really big star at some point.
Ann Winters?
Yeah.
Trying to think what she looks like. Oh, her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's gonna be huge. She was in what's that movie with Kevin Hart? Night School, and she was in that really bad movie, Countdown.
Yeah, bro. I like honestly, like she has such this incredible acting talent, especially in the Grand Hotel. Like it's crazy. And then in the Orville season 3, she just does a phenomenal job.
Okay, I like to point out that I looked at the cover art for Grand Hotel on Google, and it's a lot worse than on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Well, you wait. Did you get the Mexican one on Google?
No, I got the American one.
Dang.
It's the one. It's whatever you've been talking about.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oof. Oof.
Oof. Oof.
So
Cool.
we'll say
Nat.
teen and up. We'll say teen and up.
Teen it up.
Oh,
That's fair.
Brutal.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean that's what I put it at anyway, because it is a murder show, and murder shows can be heavy for kids or anyone under the age of maybe like even 15.
This is true.
Depends on who you are.
Yeah, I mean, everyone kind of has their limit when it comes to things. I like to say my limit is pretty high when it comes to like what I can handle.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, like, honestly, there's shows I want to talk about on the podcast, but shows I just cannot talk about on the podcast. And there's a lot of movies that I just can't talk about on the podcast because of one reason or another.
You're right. I feel you.
And
we've had these talks.
Yes, and we are both in leadership positions, and it would be a shame if we were to lose those positions because we said something stupid on this podcast. So that's us being adults. That's us being mature. And speaking of mature, look at if you're on YouTube. Look at these GameStop t-shirts we have. I mean, look at these things. They look great.
They're pretty dope.
Yeah.
$5?
Yeah, $5 from GameStop. GameStop, if you want to sponsor,
hit us up.
I need a PS5. So
I would never say no to a PS5 either.
if one
That needs one more than I do, though.
Yeah, if one hit me up with the Xbox Series X, I'll take it too. One or the other, sure. Hit me up with one of those.
Do it, you cowards. Do it.
Yeah,
I bet you won't. I bet you won't.
Bet you won't.
Cowards. Cool. Nat, what you watching?
So Ashton, there's this little movie that came out in I want to say 1940. Hang on, let me look at this. I want to say 1940. 1950? Is it 1950? Is this what I'm talking about? No, wait a minute. Is it? What? 65? Dude, I don't even know what year. Okay, hang on.
Dang.
Original. Dude, that can't be right. Okay, it doesn't matter what year it came out. So I rewatched this movie a few days ago, and I forgot how much I love it. But before I reveal what movie it is, Ash, let me ask you a question real quick.
Cool.
Who is your favorite Disney princess?
Ariel. Always been Ariel since I was a kid.
Do you know how old she is, Ashton?
How old?
She's 16. I'm kidding.
Since I was a kid. Come on. I've grown up with her.
Yes, we've all grown together. We grow with the Disney princesses, even though they don't
do.
age because they are not real people. But Ashton, my favorite Disney princess is Cinderella.
Ooh.
So I already watched the original animated 19 whatever Cinderella movie from Disney, and I must say, there's a reason why Cinderella is one of the most beloved Disney films ever. I'm 22 years old, and I'm male, and I was freaking laughing at this movie so hard. Like, if you talk to Chanel Hitter, I was freaking cracking up because those mice are freaking funny. Dude, I don't know why I was laughing so hard watching this movie.
How much sleep did you get?
A good amount. You know, I want to say I got a good amount of sleep that night.
Dang.
And, yeah, I don't know, man. It was just really funny. Nothing new not a new movie, but I just thought we put it out there because, you know, give it a rewatch. Give it a rewatch, man.
Might
I
have
have to. Yeah.
There you go.
Ashton, back to you. What you been watching?
Cool. Sorry, I just lost my list. All right. Here's one that I've been watching. So this is actually I've been watching and playing, because not only was this a TV show, it was a video game first. That is Cuphead. So, Nat, we both bought Cuphead probably around the same time.
Do I hate
back
this game? It's so
back in like
frustrating.
2019 or something. So like it's been about 3 years.
It's an old game too. It came out like 2016 or something, right?
Yeah, something like that. So even when we bought it, I think it had like just come to the Switch or something, and we both bought it on our Switches. And I told myself, like, when the pandemic hit, I was just gonna like play the crap out of this thing and beat it, and by the end of everything I'd be done. And I did not live up to my own promise.
Dude, I remember that. You were like texting me. You're like, bro, I can't do this.
I can't do this.
You
I
can
can't
do
it.
it.
So I recently picked up playing this game again. I was playing it at your house for a little bit and just some handheld on my Switch. And I've been taking my Switch a lot more places now, just because if I have downtime, I just want to grind this thing. And it's actually a lot of fun once you start equipping power-ups.
Yes.
That's kind of when you start feeling like you have a little more of a tactical advantage. The game's so hard, dude. It's so hard. It's literally just a game of boss fights. Like, boss fights in normal video games are supposed to be that one thing that you kind of get to the end of the game and you're like, oh, let's do this thing. I've learned a lot. I know what I need to do now. I got this. In this game, it's just all boss fights, and you just have to pretty much fail a lot before you can actually beat it. It's crazy. If you've never played it and you want a challenging game, I was like, screw it, I'm just playing all these levels on easy because there's no way I'm doing this on normal. And even on easy, it's so hard.
Don't blame you.
Yeah, so I've been playing that game a lot recently. Now, I also discovered Netflix did a TV show on Cuphead.
I've seen it.
Based on some of the lore. And it's not going to make my top 10 TV shows of all time or anything. Nothing like that. But it's fun to just put on when you have nothing else to do. Or when I'm playing Cuphead. Or, you know, when I'm just trying to, like, fill in time. It's a great filler show. Like, I've genuinely had laughs. It's kind of reminded me, like, growing up, I watched a lot of, like, the old Looney Tunes. And a lot of like the old, like the Superman TV show that didn't have any voice acting because it was just so old to do that. Like the first animated one that they ever did, the all hand drawn one. I watched a lot of older TV shows growing up. There are definitely some Gen Xers and like whatnot on this, like listening right now. They're just pulling their hair out because they're just like, no, that's not old. It's old now.
Hi, Dad.
Oh shoot. No disrespect, but
I should call you old.
No, I didn't. No, I just called the content old. What are you talking about?
No, I legit called my dad old today. I'm like, so Dad, you're old, right? And he's like, yeah, I'm old. And I'm like, did you see Elvis live? And he looked so offended.
I think Elvis died like when my dad was 1 or something.
Dude, yeah, I think Elvis last performed in Vancouver in 1957, and my dad was born in 61, so a little late.
A little late, a little late.
A little late.
But yeah, no, it, you know, the TV Cuphead's kind of reminded me of like those good old days of, you know, when visual humor was a big thing with TV shows. It wasn't as much like the voice acting or how they did things, but it was just kind of like those little animations where, you know, the characters stop in midair and just kind of like run back or whatever because there's like danger ahead and they're still running in midair, or, you know, they're
Very
falling.
slapstick.
Slapstick, you know, the floor falls out, takes them a minute to realize what's happening, and then they just fall to their doom. It's, yeah. So Cuphead kind of reminds me of those good old days. Yeah, it's, I enjoy it. If you just need something to watch to fill in the time, or you really hate yourself, then watch it / play it.
Yeah. Yeah. I watched Cuphead. I thought it was pretty fun. Like it does the job well for what it needs to do. I find they could have gone a lot darker with it, which I kind of wanted them to do. It's very much a kid's show.
It's very much a kid's show.
But the kid show, the game is not. Honestly,
the game is not.
No, there's some pretty dark moments in the game.
And if you want your kid to be like the ultra gamer, you train them on this game every day nonstop until they can beat it, and then you make them play it again, and then they'll win gaming competitions. Like, it's that extreme.
My child shall be the bestest gamer ever.
The bestest of all time.
Yes. I want him to be the very best, like no one ever was.
Dang.
Or her, you know,
or
it doesn't
her.
matter.
Either or.
I'm gonna get triplet girls, man. Just watch it happen.
Dang, bro.
I wouldn't be mad. I'd just be like,
You just be like, wow,
dope.
Y'all are gonna be gamers.
Yeah, you know, like it or not, need a game.
So Nat, what you watching?
You know what? I'll talk about a movie that we both seen.
Okay.
And the one that we missed out in theaters, and I'm kind of glad we did. And that movie is Lightyear. Okay. Obviously based off Buzz Lightyear from the Toy Story franchise. Now I'm not saying that this movie was bad. I was just disappointed.
Yeah.
And I know, Ashton, I know you were too. It just kind of... So, if you don't know, this is the movie that Andy in the Toy Story franchise saw, which made him want to get a Buzz Lightyear toy. And I know there was a lot of controversy with the voice acting. I know a lot of people wanted Tim Allen to come back and be Buzz Lightyear. Honestly, I didn't care that Chris Evans was voice him in this movie. And yeah, I didn't get the controversy, but this movie to me, it felt very, I want to say lifeless, like I said with other shows and stuff, but it just felt very like it didn't know what it wanted to do. And a movie that doesn't know what it wants to do will be leaving people with more questions than answers. And we could do a spoiler review on it, like just in this episode, but I did not find the ending very satisfying at all.
Yeah, me neither.
And the big reveal of who the villain was very... it made me frustrated because there was like 5 better options that they could have gone with, but it sucked, man.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. We didn't... I mean, we saw this movie not too far apart from one another.
About a week. I'll say about a week.
Yeah. And man, I had the same reaction. I wasn't mad. I was just disappointed, which arguably is a lot worse than just being mad. You know, I've talked about this a lot on the pod. Growing up, like Buzz Lightyear was like my hero. Like from Toy Story, I was obsessed with that movie. I watched it all the time as a kid. Toy Story 2, same thing. And, you know, I had the pajamas, the costumes, the limited edition toys, the slippers, all that of like Buzz Lightyear. And I just found one of my old Buzz Lightyear toys recently. I was like, dang, the movie really messed up this. I'm so happy I didn't see this as a kid. Yeah, you know, it's... again, the controversy and stuff, I actually thought Chris Evans did a really good job. Like,
Yes, I did
being like, the pressure that was kind of on him to kind of do this, and he kind of does sound a little bit like Tim Allen anyway. Even he said like he's never voiced a Captain America like toy, and that's because they typically like toy actors are very, very different. They all either pull clips from the movie and synthesize it, or they'll like, I mean, I guess that is them acting, but not intentionally, or else they'll just get like a sound-alike to do it. I know like a lot of the Obi-Wan Kenobi toys, for example, from Star Wars Episode 3 is actually James Arnold Taylor. Chris Evans had his brother do a lot of the toys, and it's like, it sounds enough like it. And then, it's also, there's a reason why they just sound very distorted more so than, they do in the movies. And that's because, well, it's actually not them acting it. So just getting that out of the way. It's very unrealistic to think that like the toy actor is going to be the movie actor. So I thought that was actually a pretty dope decision. As much as I love Tim Allen, and he's, his Buzz Lightyear is my definitive Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
But man, this movie started off like pretty great, and then it just kept falling and falling, and then there were some points where I was like, oh, and then it was just like, nope. And the big reveal of the bad guy and everything, I was just like, oh, why? It's already been pre-established in the movies. You were supposed to do it this way in the Toy Story movies. It just felt like they wanted to play with audiences, and rather than playing with audiences, they just peeved us off. Kind of like The Last Jedi. I know I just triggered so many people there. Sometimes...
The Last Jedi is a perfect film.
No, it's not. Get out of here.
It is better than Episode 9.
Oh, no. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Episode 9 sucked.
It's a piece of trash.
Compared to it. But yeah, no, it was just like, it kind of like had that mentality of, oh, I'm going to be different to be, to get people talking or whatever. Don't. Just don't. And I thought it was the way that they were trying to do it was like, okay, maybe that's kind of cool, but it just fails. Like,
yeah.
And then, the end of the movie, I feel like they tried to set it up for like more sequels or a TV show or something. I don't want any more of this. I just want to like leave it in the past, forget about it.
I mean, yeah, if we got like a Western from like Woody and Jesse,
I would be okay with that,
Bullseye,
but it has to be really
that'd
cool.
Be okay.
I'm just done with Buzz. Like, they didn't even respect my boy in Toy Story 4 enough. Like, if you don't know what to do with him,
I want Robert Downey Jr. as Woody.
Hey yo, hey yo.
If you're doing the MCU thing, I want Robert Downey Jr. as Woody. I want Gemma Chan to voice Jesse, and who do I want to voice Bullseye?
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel. Might as well. It's all about family.
It's all about family.
It's all about family.
All about family. Dang. Yeah. Man.
Missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity. I mean, hey, I mean, I would be down with the Woody one. Just don't like try to make it like Lightyear. Just make it like a really good old like swan song to the Westerns, And I guess in Toy Story 2, they kind of already had like Woody's Western TV show. So I feel like Woody's Roundup. So Tom Hanks would kind of have to come back because he did voice Woody in that. I don't know, unless they just completely don't do that, in which case, you know what? If it's good, then it's good. If it's not, then I'm going to be disappointed again. Don't make me disappointed, Disney. Don't do it. Don't do it.
You won't like it when we're disappointed.
You won't. And actually that leads me into another show that I've been watching lately. Oh
yes, what you watching, Ashton?
So only the first episode. Nat hasn't seen it yet, but She-Hulk.
Okay.
This is a show that we've talked about the terrible CGI and everything. It still sucks. Sucks a little less than the trailers, but it still sucks. But the show's funny, and it sets things up for I mean, at least the first episode is funny, and it kind of sets up the rest of the show in a way that's going to be like, ooh, okay, this is happening. And also, okay, I'm trying to figure out how to get around spoilers. If you are into Ferris Bueller's Day Off and another Marvel movie with a very particular character who likes to wear red and does a lot of talking to a particular set of people, then you will like this show. I hope I didn't really spoil it that much.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna just say it,
Yeah.
fourth wall breaking. Um, but everyone kind of expected it because it's in the comics and it's done really well so
Yeah.
far. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I'll say.
Sick. Wow, we've been on Disney Plus for a long time here, Ashton.
We have.
Do you know what? We teased it a little bit. Let's talk about it. So this is a TV show that I'm currently watching. But I know Ashton is finished.
Yeah.
And because of our religious backgrounds, this show kind of hits different for us than most people, I guess, who are watching it. And that show is Under the Banner of Heaven.
Ooh.
It's a show we could talk about on this podcast because I feel like it doesn't really it doesn't Hollywood eyes things in the world that are kind of messed up.
Yeah.
And I feel like religion is something you cannot do not play with religion, because that's just asking for so much trouble from a lot of different people, and that's just not a way to live. Ashton, what do you think about the show? You're the one who's watched it.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen, I'm only 3 episodes out of 7 in. But I can say that this is one of the most difficult shows I've watched in a long time. But kind of in a good way. Ashton, what do you think?
Yeah, it's interesting because going through this show, it had a similar vibe to me that Watchmen did, where I loved it, but it was painful, or the morning show where it was oh, it's driving such a good message or whatever, or it's driving such an interesting perspective on this, but it's so painful to watch because it's just bad news after bad news and all that. And yeah, I mean, it talks. Okay, a bit of background on this TV show. It's based off of a book, and this book was written about true events that actually happened in the 80s. And it kind of gets you to wonder and kind of puts the question out there, is particularly about Mormonisms. Now, I would say Nat and I are probably a lot closer to more of an evangelical kind of branch of faith. I would kind of be one of those people along the lines of Mormonism it doesn't fall under a lot of required theological, check marks to kind of qualify with close to what we would believe in.
Yes.
And it's painful going through this show because the stuff that actually happened in real life, these characters, the decisions they make, claiming
it's brutal
for claiming to be in the name of God, it sucks. It's sad to see that this is how they understood things. And the end of the show, I'm not going to really spoil anything here, but it's kind of a common theme throughout the show, but it really makes you ponder the question of is Mormonism, even in its tamest form, as harmful as it is in its fundamentalist form? And I feel that's a valid question nowadays, even within our own branch of evangelical Christianity. We see a lot of stuff like that.
Fair.
That's kind of what's made me think of, or even Catholicism. We've seen stuff with residential schools here in Canada that, the Catholics kind of put out and, kind of sucked. So, it brings up these really great questions, but it's tough to watch. And you really kind of got to evaluate yourself while you watch it. And even just think through a lot of things. Take breaks. It's not a bingeable show. Nat and I were just talking.
I can't binge it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, when you're done, I could honestly do a full review on this. Let us know if you want that. Hit us up. It's
We should just do
dark.
it anyways.
We might have
Yeah,
to. It's really
we
dark.
might have to put like a warning on it, a trigger
Yeah.
type of warning on it.
It's very, like I wouldn't recommend this for everyone. If you're into true crime stuff and you've seen some of the dark true crime stuff, it falls along there. It doesn't.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't really. It's not like as here's Johnny, but it is still kind of intense to watch. There's some very intense graphic scenes, and it could bring up a lot of. It deals with a lot of stuff like abuse, obviously murder, and just all this other, even rape. So if you're sensitive to those, don't watch this one. But if you're willing to engage in sort of this conversation, then go
Sure.
for it. I know when the book came out, it was very controversial among the Mormon
That's what
community.
I heard. Yeah.
Because people were just like, well, no, this isn't actually an accurate representation of us. And I mean, we really can't speak for that, but we can go up based off of kind of what is shown. And I've even heard from other Mormon commentators, I've seen this show, it's like, no, like some of the tamer stuff does represent us fairly well. So, but none of the cast is Mormon. They nothing like that, but apparently it does a pretty okay job. So take it with a grain of salt. Do your own research on it, I guess. But it's a great show. Terrific acting, terrific cinematography. Andrew Garfield, he's one of like my favorite actors and like Nat's favorite actor right now.
Yes, of course.
And then, even Daisy Edgar Jones, we had a lot to say about Where the Crawdads Sing. She's in this as well. She's terrific.
She's terrific. The whole cast is just really
Whole
good.
cast, dude. It's just a stellar cast. Yeah, check it out. If only if you don't qualify under any of those things that I mentioned before. Those other warnings. Yeah, no, I texted Nat when I was probably like at episode 3 when I texted you and I was like, yo, have you watched this yet?
So yeah, it was a show I've been wanting to watch. I just never got around to it just because, let's be real, there's a reason why we make this video, because we watch a lot of stuff and
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh well.
Okay. Ashton, what you been watching? Wow,
Well,
we're really good at segues.
This is another show, or this is another movie we watched together.
Oh, together?
Together? We held
we saw
hands
this
the whole
together?
time for all those shippers out there.
Oh, is it a Netflix movie?
It's the Netflix movie,
Okay, go for it.
The Gray Man.
Fun movie.
Yeah. This movie was actually like pretty fire. I don't think it's making my top 10 list. I'll just say that like straight out the gate. But it was pretty fire. Like I enjoyed it. It was kind of like just an awesome action movie. And it did the job in that regard. Terrific cast. Chris Evans is scary, dude. I
love him as a villain. He's a really good
He's
villain.
a really good villain. If you've seen Knives Out and you've seen like that, just kind of that perspective of Chris Evans, I guess, and you're just like, ooh, okay, this is going somewhere. If you're one of those people, then watch this movie because it carries on with that. He's actually really scary. It's hard to see
Absolutely.
Captain America like this, dude.
No, not our
No.
Captain America.
Or Buzz Lightyear.
Oh yeah, now it's Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, no, this movie, it was shot very well. I'll say that right out the gate. Like the action sequences and stuff. It was directed by the Russos, or it was at least influenced by the Russo brothers, right? Like the
Was it produced or
or
something
was it
like
produced, something like that. Let's see.
that? I don't think it was directed. I think it was produced.
Yeah. That would make. Oh no, it was directed. Joe Russo, Anthony Russo.
Oh, I stand
Yeah.
corrected.
It also has Ana de Armas in it, and Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling is like
My boy.
my guy. He's the main character in the show, and yeah, it's stellar cast. We love
Absolutely.
movies featuring all 3 of those leads, I guess. And it also just, it's a good watch. What else is there really to say? It's an action movie.
It's a crazy action movie.
It's a crazy action movie.
There's lots of explosions, lots of gunfight, and some things that would make you say, "How do you survive that?"
It's like, did Michael Bay produce this? No, he
yeah,
didn't.
and straight up.
But yeah, I mean, if you liked, I'm gonna put like an easy segue out there for Marvel fans. If you've only really watched Marvel movies, and you're trying to look for another movie to get into, and you liked Winter Soldier, Civil War, Endgame, Infinity War, I think this is a pretty easy movie to kind of check out for the first time.
Yeah, I think you could just hop into it. But be warned, it is pretty bloody and gory, and it's pretty brutal at some points. So honestly, I would skip this if there's kids under the age of 13.
Yeah.
No, let's say 14, because there are
Sure.
some other things in there too. Hey, we're adults, so we can watch stuff like this. That's right, Dad. We can watch stuff like this. Yeah, no, it's a fun movie it's a perfect like guys' night movie, if that makes sense. Yeah, dude, Ashton was over here. We watched it downstairs with the projector. Good times.
Really good times.
Very good times.
Yeah. Check it out. Like if you qualify under what Nat had recommended, then check it out.
Yeah, why not, right?
Why not? It's on Netflix exclusively, I think. So just
Yes.
Yeah.
Only Netflix.
Keep that in mind. You need a Netflix account for this one. But most of the stuff we watch anyway is like exclusive to some streaming service or another.
Usually, I don't say everything I watch is usually on streaming services, because
Yeah.
I don't really watch like regular TV. I do watch like hockey, but like that's like that's in October, so yeah, I don't usually watch anything else but hockey on TV.
Yeah, there you go. Nat,
All right.
what you watching?
Okay, I'm. Do you have anything from Amazon Prime eventually?
No, I don't actually.
Oh, okay. Then I can do my sole pick from Amazon Prime then.
Okay, I think I know which one this is.
Do you? It's a movie
Okay.
that we didn't watch in theaters.
Okay, shoot. I don't know what it is then.
So the movie that I watched on Amazon Prime and that I enjoyed immensely, and that I would put on top 10 of the year, is the movie 13 Lives. This movie is about a true story, kind of like a biopic type of thing, about the Thai soccer team that got trapped in those in the caves in like 2018, 19. Oh, it was a pretty big story when it was happening in real life. But this movie just kind of makes me say, wow, like this actually happened. I mean, this soccer team was stuck in a cave for 2 weeks without any really fresh food and water, and it kind of like just makes you say, like, the human body can go through a lot, but most of the time it's the human mind that can go through a lot. And this is a story about how there's these like not deep sea diver, cave divers who have to go through the cave channels and save them, and it's very amazing how they got, not really spoiler because it's about real life, they got everyone out safely, which is honestly the best part about this movie. We got it's directed by Ron Howard. If you know
really?
Ron Howard, he's a big director. Cast is Viggo Mortensen, Colin Farrell, Joel Edgerton. So it's a pretty good cast. It's 2.5 hours long if you want to watch a movie that long, but I say you can watch it with your family. Watch it with your family. It's a good film to watch with your family. And yeah, probably I think it was like my number 10 pick right now for top 10 of the year. But that list will come out in January when we do that list. So yeah, give it a watch. It's on Amazon Prime for technically free if you have Amazon Prime, but if you don't, suck.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, I have
Ashton, what you watching?
I have another recommendation, but here's the thing. I only know the story. I actually haven't seen the movie. But It's weird. So
Okay.
here's
Hit me.
here's the premise of it. There's this guy, I believe. Wait, let me just look it up just to confirm his location because I'm pretty sure it's correct. Um, his so his name is Mully, Charles Mully. Yeah, I was right. So he's from Kenya, and he was this. This is a real life thing. He was this like
Okay.
businessman who's like making a lot of money. He had like this whole property bought for his retirement. This big like undeveloped like property in Kenya, and he fell. And full disclaimer, this is a Christian story. He felt God's prompt. He felt God prompting him to kind of drop everything that he was doing and go out into Kenya and just kind of hang out with some kids there, some of the homeless kids that didn't have anywhere to go, that were just getting into trouble, that were getting arrested, that were getting killed in the streets, and he felt God prompting him to go and just kind of meet with them and then adopt them into his family. So he did that, and he kept doing that, and then he kept doing that, and then he kept and kept and kept on doing that, and eventually his house was so full he had to develop that property and just completely build it into this big campus. So anyway, there's this amazing sort of like ministry in Kenya today that's still going on. Molly is like in his late 70s now, but he's still like fully hands-on, fully working with these kids and working with the volunteers.
I think I heard about that.
Yeah, and he's really invested in doing that. So anyway, my pastor, one of his daughters recently just went there to work with Molly. So I've been hearing a lot about Molly, just like throughout my past month, pretty much. And you know, he's just a really great guy apparently. And the movie is on Amazon Prime, at least in Canada. I think it might be on Netflix in America. But yeah, apparently it does a really good job. Molly himself really liked the movie. It does a really good job showing off this sort of thing. And it's a movie that I have on my watch list to watch. I haven't seen the full movie yet, but from the stories I've heard, from some more of the other research I've done on it, and you know, the personal testimonies as well from the people I've met this dude, he's a pretty great guy. Story's pretty cool. So if you're into Christian movies, and we've talked about this, a lot of them are super cringy. This one's just kind of like a biopic, so it's like not that bad. Check this one out, because I think there's like a really cool story here, and yeah, pretty great that it's still a thing. That's
What's
going
it called?
Today.
I don't think
So
you said what it's called.
The movie itself is called Mully.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, did I miss the title of the movie?
Mully, yeah.
How do you spell that?
Mully.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, this thing. Yeah, no, I've seen this.
Yeah.
Not, I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen like the cover art and stuff.
Yeah. So like I have this movie ready to go on my watch list, but you know, from people I've heard, from people I trust, this is more just a recommendation from word of mouth. It's pretty great. And these aren't really like cinemaphile, so I can't really speak to it from a cinemaphile standpoint, but from a story standpoint, it's pretty great. So
cool.
Yeah, real life stuff. While we're on the subject, kind of.
Well, I love real life stuff. I think some of my favorite movies are biopics.
Yeah.
Moneyball, The Social Network. I think there's a very like memorable thing that biopics do for people, kind of bringing, depending on the person or depending on what the subject matter is, it's like kind of making you relate to whatever or whoever is the movie is about. And I think that's really important to tell stories in a different way from just like traditional documentaries, because let's be real, a lot of people don't like documentaries.
Yeah.
I love documentaries, but I'm weird. So yeah.
Yeah, so if you're into, and I think Mully is a mix of a documentary and a biopic.
Okay.
It might, I could be wrong on that. Again, I still have to see it. I've heard mixed things about the genre. But yeah, I mean, actually no, now that I think about it, I think it is just a biopic. Sorry, I really need to see this. It's more of an honorable mention than like an actual thing I've been watching because it's a movie I'm
Okay.
going to watch. But yeah, watch it along with me before the next episode, guys. Let's do this.
Yes, give it a watch.
Let's do it. So Nat, what you watching?
Well, how many things do you have left?
I just have one more left, but if you have more, just go for it.
I have a few. We'll do mine, and then we'll go back to you, and then I'll do a couple more really quickly. Now this is a movie. It's a movie that's actually free to watch on YouTube. And I think I've talked about it before on the podcast. I can't remember, but the movie is The Video Games, the movie.
Oh.
Now, speaking of documentaries, this is a documentary about video games and how they came to be and how, like, the first... Actually, you know what the first video game was?
No, I do not, actually.
The first video game... The first game to be classified as a video game?
Wait. Are we going into, like, text-style games here? Like, just games where you just write out... It's just text and you use your imagination?
No.
Okay. Dang.
So technically, the first video game would be Pong.
Okay.
You would be right.
That's the one I
but
was...
if we're gonna go way back further, the first video game would be Space Wars, which is kind of like a style of... It's kind of like Galaga, but not like Galaga. it's very... You watch the documentary. It's free to watch on YouTube. It's very well put together. It's old. It came out in 2014. So it's all the video game consoles leading up to the Xbox One and the PS4. It's very well made. If you like video games like we do, give it a watch. Ashton, have you seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Dude, it's an hour and 41 minutes on YouTube for free. Just type in Video Games the Movie. It's the first one.
Dope. I'll put it on the watch list.
I've seen it like more than a few times because I think it's just one of the better documentaries made, if I can say that. But yeah, give it a watch.
Cool. Actually, okay. I actually have two more things now that I think.
Okay, go for it. We can go back and forth then. That works perfectly.
Okay, so this one thing that I'm thinking of here is it's a TV or it's a YouTube show, like YouTube original show, whatever. Pretty popular actually, especially if you're a sneakerhead like me. Then you've probably seen a few episodes of this. Complex Sneaker Shopping with Joe Puma
on YouTube. Yeah, I've watched a few of those.
Yeah, so the whole thing, it's like another talk show. But the difference is these celebrities go out and they buy shoes. I've talked about it here before. Nat's talked about it here before. I think we talked a lot about it on our last Whatcha Watching.
Yes, very true.
We like shoes. We like sneakers. I like knowing kind of what shoes people like, what's on people's radars, and I may have made another impulsive purchase today.
Oh my gosh, this man spent $70 on slides.
If you're on YouTube, then comment what slides these are. Half of you might get it wrong actually. Yeah. So it's something that I enjoy. It's something I like. I've bought 2 shoes in the past few weeks just as investments, shoes that don't fit me, but I've listed for sale and stuff, that are actually worth quite a lot more from like thrift finds. So I'm a little bit of a nerd on that. Not the biggest, but I'm a little bit of a nerd. I dip my toes into it. Actually, I dip my whole like ankles into it.
Good one, bro.
Yeah, haha. So, yeah, the show is pretty much about, again, celebrities going sneaker shopping, answering questions, things that go with shoes, or maybe it's about like, it could be Shaquille O'Neal talking about his shoe brand and how he wants to give a certain amount of shoes away to certain charities and organizations for kids that don't really have that stuff, or
right.
It could be in the season finale that just finished up this past time, like Kevin Hart and Mark Wahlberg went out and they just let this one girl go into the sneaker store, random girl, like some clerk from a store down the street, right before they started filming, and she just went and she got like a ton of really cool shoes. Like she got a pair of Yeezys, a pair of Jordans, and a few Dunks, and it was like pretty cool. You know, they're paying for this themselves for these people. Um, I just like watching celebrities spend all the money that they have on people that aren't them.
I
So
love like doing that, and I'm one of those people.
yes, or people that are them. You know, yeah. Yeah, so if you're into that kind of stuff, even if you're just into like talk shows and stuff, it's not all about sneakers, but it definitely bases around it.
Yeah.
Check it out. It's fun to watch. Joe Puma or whatever his last name is. He does a really great job. He's a pretty good host. It's been running for a few seasons now. I think I don't know when they're launching their next one, but I'm gonna miss it. I've seen like every episode, so check it out. Do it.
Sick. Yeah, no, I think I've watched one with I think it was Snoop Dogg.
Oh yeah.
When he bought like, dude, okay, these guys just go in and they buy like, well, I would say like $20,000 worth of shoes.
Yeah.
This is just a Tuesday for them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, must be nice.
Must be nice. And then they pretend like, oh, it hurts. It hurts. It's like, dude, you have no limit on that credit card. Like, shut the frick up.
Snoop, I know your net worth. Okay.
Yeah, dude.
All you do is buy sneakers and smoke weed.
Yeah,
I know how
bro.
much you make, man. Yeah, no, good. It's good to put on.
Easy watching. Put it on in the background.
Easy watching.
Watch it
Yeah.
while you're doing homework. It's pretty great.
And then you'll end up doing sneaker shopping instead of homework. I know
Yeah.
from experience.
I know too. Nat, what you watching?
Yeah, I have a couple more things.
Okay.
So, do you know what? I'll keep on the documentary train.
Sure.
Again, this is a documentary on Netflix. It's about it's called Trainwreck Woodstock '99. Now, this is all about Woodstock '99. So if you don't, big Woodstock in 1969 was this huge music festival that like was it's known for being a train wreck. It's kind of like people didn't have water. There were riots. It was just people got hurt and injured. And I think there was some deaths there because of trampling and stuff. Okay, and this is about kind of the revival. It's in 1999, and this is how it kind of went worse. This is like accounts of people who were there and accounts of people who were involved in like organizing this event, and it's amazing to kind of just like see how people treat people when they're kind of really so disconnected to people, because people were not treated well in the whole organizing process, and it's kind of just sad to see things go down this way. And yeah, don't want to say too much because I know a lot of people know about the original Woodstock, but do you know about Woodstock '99? And give it a watch. It's 3 episodes for about 50 minutes, so about just over almost 3 hours long, but you can binge it pretty easily. And yeah, give it a watch.
Dude, pretty solid.
Yeah. Ashton, what you watching?
Cool. So this movie, we've actually done a review on it. We saw this pre-release, which is probably our biggest flex ever on this pod.
Dude, it's 4 days early. Are you freaking
4
kidding
days
me?
early. Yeah, dude.
Like, that's the biggest flex.
It's pretty great. Bullet Train. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Honestly, I think it's the best movie to come out within like at least since Where the Crawdads Sing, in my opinion. Within the past like month, I guess. It's been like the only thing that's been like, oh my gosh, this movie, I gotta see it. And then once I saw it, it's like, okay, now everyone else is talking about it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You know, we did a whole review on it, but I'll kind of give a bit of an outline. Great fun, pretty gory. Pretty gory.
Yeah,
So,
understatement.
Still a lot of fun though. Really
Very
an
fun.
awesome cast, really great director, and the whole show, or the whole movie, the whole film. If we want to get very cinematic with it,
Sure, we can call it a film.
yeah. It just kind of, you know, it's a fun thing to put on a Friday night. Yeah.
Dude, we had a whole date. We went on a date and watched.
Very
We went for
romantic.
dinner.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. It was, I mean, yeah. What else is there to say? Check it out. You've probably heard a lot of people talking about it, especially if you're like our age. I
Yeah.
think it's kind of attracted more of like the young adult, like, older Gen Z millennial crowd. And, I'd probably suggest it for that age group. Like, don't see this if you're maybe under the age of 15 or even higher.
We'll
I
go
don't know.
16
16?
because this is a
That's
family
fair.
friendly
Family
podcast.
friendly podcast. We want to be a little more conservative here.
Yes.
Yeah. So check it out if you're kind of like, in that age range and you've had an interest in it. It's great fun. Great fun. Brad Pitt's great. The whole cast, it's just like if you've seen Deadpool 2, you're going to love this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I have a couple more.
Okay. Actually, I have one more I remembered. So what you
Okay,
watching?
so I'll do. Yes.
Yeah, you do one. I'll do
There you
one,
go.
and then yeah.
So I'm gonna go to Apple TV Plus for the last two here,
Oh.
and yeah. So I usually see this is a true statement of like, I get my money's worth out of all of these subscription services because I watch a lot of stuff, and this TV show I'm gonna talk about now is a very heartfelt TV show, and it hits home for me because it's based on the issue that a lot of people that I've known and that I still know deal with, and the TV show is called Trying. Now, this is a show about a couple who is, they love each other, and they want to have kids, so they start trying and they just can't have a kid because of multiple. When people can't have kids, it's for multiple reasons, not just for one, and and then they kind of just give up, and then they like just say, hey, let's adopt. So that's also another route for a lot of families who are in this situation. So they adopt, and most of the show is about them trying to get into the adopting process, finding I don't want to say the right kid, but the kid that loves them, and it's very heartfelt for them to find the kids, and yeah, no, it's very heartfelt, and I think no one's really watching it. I don't see a lot of reviews on like IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes about the show, so give it some love because I think that the next like few years, people are gonna start talking about the show, and it's gonna be, I'll be like, I was the original, and yeah, give it a watch, sure. Apple TV Plus if you have it.
Gotta renew my subscription.
Dude, hop on mine, bro.
Ayo.
Dude, we got to renew that crave subscription.
On it, bro. Oh
my gosh,
I'll do it tonight. I was gonna do it a couple days ago, and then House of Dragons came out, and it kind of crashed everything, so didn't work.
Is that out right now?
Yeah, it premiered and it crashed Crave.
Bruh.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's not something on our What You Watch, and that's just a fact of something that happened recently.
Yeah, I've seen one episode of Game of Thrones, and I'm like,
yeah,
not for me.
Yeah, I haven't seen any. We're not really big fantasy dudes.
Yeah, to be fair, I saw the last episode ever, so maybe that's not.
That would do it.
Helpful.
That would do it.
Yeah. Oh well. Ashton, what you watching?
More like what you playing. This
video
is
game time.
Ooh, video game time. Yeah. We've played this together. I'm gonna just get straight to it without a lot of build up. The Mario Kart 2 Booster DLC pack. Mario
yes.
Kart 8 Deluxe.
Mario 8 Deluxe.
Booster Pack 2. Dude, it's actually kind of fun. Like, when the first Booster Pack came out, I was like, yo, Coconut Mall, let's do this. I played it, and then the maps kind of just blended in. And then I didn't with the other stuff, the existing stuff, and I didn't really touch it as much anymore. But when the second pack came out, at first I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. Played it a couple times, played it with you guys. But then this last week, I've just been like finding myself when I'm not playing Cuphead, just on that nonstop, like still playing some of those rounds. I don't really play alone when it comes to Mario Kart. I usually just like wait till I have like friends and family or whatever that want to play it. That's why I don't have a lot of
Right.
stuff unlocked, like carts and stuff. I'm still unlocking stuff. I've had this game since before I had my Switch. It's kind of
Oh
funny.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, this booster pack, it brings in like Mushroom Gorge from the Wii. It brings in like a lot of uh it has like the train one from the N64, Calamari, or was it Calamari? I forget. No, it wasn't Calamari. Oh yeah, no, I think it was Calamari Desert or something.
Calamari, yeah, something like that. That new one.
Yeah. And it just kind of like puts a fresh coat of graphics on it and just, changes up some of the things in it to make it fit with this game. And it's pretty fun, There's a few more like original ones that were made for this. Waluigi Pinball is so much fun. We played this a few times, and we've had fun with it. I played it a lot more recently, and I just kind of keep finding myself in that. And honestly, 45 new courses for like 20, what is it, $25 Canadian or something like that, or 35 or something. It's actually
Something like
a
that. I
pretty
haven't
good
done it
value. I mean, I would say to people out there, if you're kind of bored of Mario Kart 8, this is a pretty good value for 45 more courses. And I mean, wait if you all want or whatever, but or just have a friend like me who has it, so then you can just be like
What
that
else
and
are
play it
friends
whenever
for?
I'm over. Yeah.
Do you think I have friends so I can hang out with them and spend time with them and get to know them better?
Just
No,
for
I use
Mario
them for their
Kart.
video
Just for
games,
Mario
yeah.
Kart. But yeah, lots of fun. I've gotten some enjoyment out of it. Increased my hours quite a bit.
Nice.
So Nat, what you watching?
For our last pick of the episode, I want to talk. Okay, I hate building it up, but I have to build this one up. Another movie, a movie on Apple TV Plus, because I pay for a lot of these. And this movie is honestly the cutest movie I've seen this year. And Ashton, I want to give you this. I want to give you my Apple TV Plus so you can just watch this movie and watch a couple other movies on here too. That movie is Luck. Now, if you don't know much about it or nothing at all, this movie is kind of it's the first movie in Skydance animation. Skydance animation is obviously Skydance. If you don't know, Skydance has made a lot of movies with J.J. Abrams. They helped made the Star Trek movies and a few other like big blockbuster movies. I think Mission Impossible movies. So this is a studio that has primarily done big action movies, kind of like blockbusters, and now it wants to do animated movies. And Luck is their first movie, kind of in their studio, and it is one of the cutest movies I've seen in a long time. It's about this girl who has bad luck. She's been an orphan all her life, and she hasn't found her forever family. She kind of what's it called? Kind of blames luck for that, and then she finds this cat, this black cat. And if you know anything about black cats are usually bad luck, right? But it turns out that this is a leprechaun cat, and this cat is very lucky, and it's a whole thing about them trying to get a coin back so that she can help a friend. I forgot the voice. The main character is played by Eva Noblezada. She's been on Broadway. She's been on TV. She's been on a few things. But the biggest one is probably Simon Pegg, who voices a talking cat.
What else do you want from Simon Pegg?
Now, if you don't have a heart, you're gonna be like whatever. But Simon Pegg as an Irish talking cat, it doesn't get much better than that. And it has my favorite musical segment of the year.
Really?
Dude, it's so freaking cute. The bunnies are probably the cutest things I've seen ever. I watched this with Chanel, and Chanel loved it. Like, Chanel can't stop watching this and talking about it. So, it's a girlfriend win for me, and yeah.
That earned himself some brownie points.
Yeah, being a nerd pays off sometimes. What can I say? Being a nerd gets you girls. Okay, that's dude. What?
I'm still waiting, bro. I'm still waiting.
Dude, she's out there, man. She's out there.
If you're the one,
at that GameStop,
hit us up on our Instagram page.
Ashton, is that it?
Dude, I think that's it. This was okay. At first, I didn't think it was gonna be that stacked of a What You Watching, but this has been a pretty stacked What You Watching.
It's summer. We have a little bit more time.
We have a little bit more time.
You're not working full time anymore, right?
I'm on break for like another week and a half. I've just been vibing.
Hey, for our POPC friends, we have that retreat coming up, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yes.
Yeah, the next week and a half is gonna be pretty busy for me with family things and anniversaries and things. So looking forward to that. And yeah, summer's almost over, which is sad, but that means we get back into school. And honestly, I can't speak for Ashton, but I kind of like school. Like, I love learning, and it's good. Yeah, I was terrible in high school, but like being in college, I love learning and being with my friends and teachers and just having a good time. So bye summer, but whatever, who cares?
Whoa. Just means
but I hate the heat.
Yeah, that's fair.
I cannot stand the heat. Like, I'm sweating, man. Goodness.
Hopefully I've EQ'd this out, but in case I haven't, I literally have a fan on across the room over by my window blowing cold air in here. Because it was at like friggin' 30 degrees in my room, and now it's like 27.
Your room's so hot.
My room gets so hot. It gets all the sun. I need to figure something out.
For those who don't know, we were recording the Obi-Wan Kenobi podcast episode, and oh dude, it was so freaking hot in that room.
So hot.
As soon as we hit stop recording, we ran out of that room and played Halo.
It got up to 32. We went downstairs into the air conditioned family room and played Halo. It was a great transition.
And then we went to see Elvis.
Yeah, great movie, by the way. We talked about it on our last What You Watching, and wait, no, we haven't done a review on it. We talked about it on our last What You Watching. I'd be down. Might have to.
Like a full. It doesn't have to be a full hour. We could probably speak like half an hour on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look out for our episode with our friend Ethan Johnson and my girlfriend, our friend Chanel. We did a episode about questions that would ruin friendships. Kind of like, do you put milk? Is it the milk or the cereal first, or is it like toast or non-toasted? And I hated being the odd one out most of the time, but I'm a weird guy, man. What can I say?
It was nice to know that I'm slightly a little more normal.
Hey, like, dude, like being like looking back at it, like being a kid, you want to fit in, but like being an adult, you don't want to fit in.
Yeah, you're right.
Notice how life is kind of screwy sometimes.
Dang.
But dude, we should do one like kind of like big episode before school starts.
We should.
We're up to episode 40. This will be episode 43, I think.
And we have another one in the vaults as well. So, just a few more episodes in this season.
We might have to redo that one, man. I was
thinking about the other one. The Comic-Con one. It's a little late now, but who cares?
We don't wait. We can just release it as bonus. We can just release it. I don't think it matters.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have a few in a vault, and one coming out probably tomorrow. Yeah, I can do it. I can do it tomorrow. It does a lot of editing and stuff. And yeah, guys, if you want to come on the podcast, and you are not weird, and you're not crazy,
and you actually listen to the podcast too.
Yeah, I mean, only the people would know. Okay, you can only come on the podcast if you message us on Instagram or email, or if you know us, you can DM us on our Instagram if you really want to. You have to use the code word. What the code word should be? What would the code word be, Ashton? If you to be a guest on Nerds of Flannel podcast, on this prestigious podcast, what is the code word they have to use?
Boxer briefs.
Boxer briefs. Okay, if you want to come on the podcast, DM us or our Instagram account, Boxer Briefs, and we will have you on. That means you've listened to the episode of this podcast and you made it this far, because I'm pretty sure we've been recording for over an hour by now. What are we at right now?
Right now we're at like, I think we're getting close to like an hour 20.
Okay, yeah, it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah, it's time. It's time.
Yeah, so look out for those episodes. But guys, it's been a lot of fun. I love these episodes because it's kind of a time to just like, hey, Ashton, like this is stuff, like I said, this is stuff we talk about all the time, but like might as well record it and put it out on the internet forever and ever and ever.
Oh, exactly. Why wouldn't we do that? Be stupid not to.
Do if aliens like look at our podcast and they come down and they like become clone versions of us?
I'd be down with that.
Wouldn't be the worst thing ever.
Maybe the Ashton clone would have better luck at finding girls. Just saying.
If there's more of you?
You know what? No, that would just lower my chances even more. Don't do that.
But dude, Nat clones would be freaking insane.
They would be.
Oh well.
Oh well. Oh well.
All right, guys. Yeah, we've drawn this out long enough. Until next time, I'm Nat.
And I'm Ashton. And
we are the nerds
in
flannel.
Yeah.
Dude, whatever. I think that's pretty good. All right, guys. See ya.
Peace.